Boker Tov, everyone. Rabbi Eric Solomon, Raleigh, North Carolina, Beth Meyer Synagogue, with some morning Torah once again. So the Parsha de Vayetze, focuses on Jacob, our father, Yaakov Avinu, and he is leaving the land of Israel, fleeing from his brother Esav. They have issues. Some of you know well the story. And he's really fleeing for his life. He's worried what's going to happen. He prays to God. He's concerned. Middle of the night, his famous moment, he takes some rocks as a pillow, has a dream, the famous stairway to heaven, the ladder going up and down, and the angels are olim, Vayordim bo, is what it says in Hebrew, that the angels are going up and down the ladder. And one of the questions the rabbis ask, and Rashi picks up on this, is what does it mean the angels is in this dream going up and down? It shouldn't say down and up, because aren't angels technically up in the sky in heaven? Aren't they coming down to the earth first, then they go up? Why would the angels first go up and down? So the response back, classic answer, is that, well, when Jacob left the land of Israel, and he was in a place of exile, essentially, outside the land, the angels escorted him. They needed to protect him, down on this earth while he walked in exile. And that idea that Jacob is escorted in times of difficulty, that kind of God or God's representatives are with him in times of challenge, really opens up the whole conversation about exile and homeland. What it means to feel at home, what it feels not to be at home. Now, this idea within Jewish history and Jewish tradition is very rich. I mean, we know what it feels like as a people to be in our land at times, and sadly at times to be exiled from our land. It's a very strong word, exile. But what I think is powerful in our tradition as well, and the mystics pick up on this, is that exile is not just a physical thing or a place that you locate on a GPS. Exile is something more spiritual. Exile could be something, in fact, you can be physically in a place, but spiritually out of the land, out of the home. Just an example, I remember when I was a new, freshly minted rabbi in my first year or two, and we went on vacation, a family vacation. And I was so excited to go on vacation. I was stressed and the work was hard. And I was like, okay, our first major vacation as a rabbi. And I'm sitting in this faraway place, beautiful place. It was a beach and sun. And I'm checking my phone. And I was not as disciplined as I am better today about looking at the phone and seeing what's going on. And I was some difficulty going to the synagogue, and I'm on the phone calling people, and I'm sitting on the beach trying to read a book, but all I'm thinking about is what's happening at the synagogue and what's happening with people. And some of it, understandably, because I care, but some of it I could have let go of. I was in a beautiful place. I was at a beach. I'm in vacation, technically. But I wasn't spiritually. Spiritually, I was still back in at that point, New York. I wasn't out at the beach. And so that's just a little idea. I've heard this also in families. I remember a very powerful pastoral encounter I had numerous years ago, where a husband and wife were having marital challenges. And the husband said to me, Rabbi, I knew that my relationship with my wife had changed and we needed help. And thank God they sought it. When I came home at the end of my workday, and when I go to touch that doorknob and to walk into the door of the house, that was one of the most exciting parts of my day. I was coming home, the doorknob, it was like this moment of the door's gonna open, and I was going to embrace my wife, and we were going to have this moment of reconnection after a day away. But I knew something changed when I'd walk up to that door. As my hand go to touch the doorknob, I felt ambivalent. I wasn't happy to be home. I was concerned and anxious about what's going to happen next when I see my partner then. So even though he was physically home and she was physically home, there was an exile in the home. Their relationship was not a place of home, it was a place of exilic experience. And this is, I think, an ongoing pattern of what we all live like in our general lives. Those are maybe two dramatic examples, but being at home is not just about being in a physical place, please God, although please God we're blessed with a home, but it's about being present in that place, feeling a place of comfort and love, wherever you are. And being present is something we have to decide and focus on and put ourselves spiritually as a commitment to be. You could be at a restaurant, you could be in a meal, but if you're not here, if you're not in it, if you're not present, then you're in exile. Prayer, you could be in synagogue, You could be praying the Shema. But if your neshama is somewhere else, your head's somewhere else, your kavanah is not, you're in exile. So exile, redemption, exile, return is a constant opportunity or challenge to stay present, really. And to be aware and to be fully invested and to pay attention. And to also not be distracted or to avoid. It's to be with what is. So when Jacob leaves the land and he has the angels with him, one way to read is that, they're escorting him because he's scared, whatever. But another read is that, when he physically leaves the land, and he is a place of not being at home, and it's a place of fear, and who knows what's going to happen, it's at times that he needs the angels to help him to be even more present. But it's possible that in that place, he actually has the revelation of God, because in that place, he says, Ma nora makom hazeh, how awesome is this place? This is a place of God. Beit Elohim, and Anochi lo yadati, I didn't even know. It said, in the land, out of the land, he can experience God in both places. If he's present, if he's open, if he gets rid of distractions, if he brings his whole self and neshama and soul forward. So exile, home, let's remember, it's not just about something physical. Because even you can sit on a beautiful beach, a beautiful location, even the land of Israel, and be in exile if you're not present. And that's an opportunity of Shabbat, to be present, to learn from Jacob that even whatever you are, wherever on your journey, just a breath away is attentiveness and home. Shabbat Shalom. Wish everyone a sweet, safe, glorious Shabbat of feeling at home. And hope may all of us return from any exiles we may feel. Shabbat Shalom.